Welcome, superstar. In this video, I hope to blow your mind with a strategy that you can use to completely change your perspective in just a couple of minutes. In this video, I'm going to share with you a really simple exercise that you can do to help you release judgment and start to have a more loving worldview. So first, let's talk a little bit about the difference between judging something and observing something. Very often, when we go about our day and live in the world that we live, we go through it with an attitude or with a perspective of judgment. So let's say somebody cuts in front of us in their car, we judge that as being inconsiderate. Or somebody shows up late to an appointment and we judge that as being rude. Or sometimes people show up and do something really nice for us and we judge that as being lovely and wonderful. And so we end up with a worldview that's built around a lot of polarity: good, bad, right, wrong, this, that. The problem with polarity is that when we operate from polarity, we're often kind of limited to two ways of experiencing the world: a bad way and a good way. And so what I want to invite you to do is have the experience of letting go of judgment and learning to just neutrally observe something. And then from there, I'm going to share with you an even more powerful way to look at something, but I'm not going to share with you what that is until the end. So let's start with the first exercise, the judging exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this exercise alongside you. You're going to look around you and pick an object. I want you to pick that object, and then for about a minute or so, you are going to judge it. Now, judging can be either good or bad, but essentially you're making a judgment about whether something is yes or no, good, bad, right, wrong. So you're judging the characteristics and the qualities of the object, okay? What I recommend is that when I say go, you put me on pause and go ahead and judge your item for about a minute. And then you can come back and I will be going through my judgment process. So you're gonna get to experience how I'm doing it so you can witness my process of judging the thing. So my object that I'm gonna pick is my computer. Go ahead and pick your object and press pause and then judge your object for a minute and then come back. And so I'm gonna pick my computer, I'm gonna judge it, and I'm gonna judge it out loud. I'm gonna do stream of consciousness so you can witness my thought process and you can compare it with your own of what you just went through. Ready? Okay, let's go. So I'm judging my computer. The screen is really dirty. I've got thumbprints on it. It looks like somebody sneezed on it. Gotta clean that up. This thing that's on the keyboard doesn't quite fit it exactly. It's a little bit messed up. I do like the pink color of the computer. It's got a nice pink sheen to it, which I like. And I love the computer color, the cover that I bought, although it's cracked over here. So I probably need to order a new one. And it's also got some scuff marks, which I don't like. This power cord I just replaced, so it's nice and white, which I appreciate when they get really dingy and dirty sometimes, and I don't really much like that. But overall, it's a good machine, and I like the way it looks and the way it feels when I type on it. Now let's try the observing process. We're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take that same object and you're gonna get neutral. No qualitative judgments, no good or bad, no right or wrong, just observing the object. All right, you ready? Go ahead and pause and do yours, and then come back and you can witness me observing my computer. Let's go. Okay, well, the computer is pink. It's got this pink brush gold kind of color. I've got this aqua green teal keyboard cover that's kind of like this gelatinous jelly-like substance. It's got this cover on it with flowers and jungle kind of motif with tropical flowers. It's an Apple computer. It has this cord that's bringing power to it. It's got the screen, which is actually really, I'm not gonna judge it, just going to notice that the screen is very bright right now. And overall, it's sitting it's sitting very neatly on this little table that I've got here. And yeah, I can adjust this front and back so that it, kind of can be more useful. So that's my neutral observation. Now, what I want to observe and what I want you to think about is, how did the first and the second feel differently? Generally speaking, when people do this exercise, the first one feels a little more intense, feels like there's more pressure, and the second one usually feels a little lighter, and you're able to see new things that you didn't see the first time. If you feel called, I would love to hear what your experience of judging versus observing felt like. Now for the third option, all right? So now we're gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna do something a little bit unusual, all right? You ready? This is gonna change everything, and I hope it does anyway. Now you're going to look at your object through the eyes of love. So you're just gonna focus on loving up the object, all right? So put it on pause, go back to the same object with the eyes of love, right? Now I'm gonna do it on my computer too. Wow, look at this beautiful pink gold. I just love this pink gold. And look at how gorgeous this green is against the pink. I love how my computer gives me the opportunity to stay connected to things that are miles and miles and away from me. It allows me to talk to people and see them in front of me, even if they're thousands of miles away. I love that my computer has such a pretty design to it, that these flowers they match kind of my style, a little bit of a hippie vibe going on. Yeah, I so appreciate my computer because I can get so many things done. I'm able to live my life on the road and not be tethered to a desk because I can take this anywhere with me. I mean, last night I was doing the work to build these videos on this computer on an airplane. How miraculous and amazing is that? So you can see that from the eyes of love, appreciation naturally comes forward. I'm hoping and guessing that that's what happened in your experience when you brought love to your object. So think about, how did that experience feel differently? Were you able to find new things to appreciate? Did it feel lighter in your body? So imagine if you went through all of life, instead of judging things, neutrally observing them, or even just bringing love to them. How different your experience of life would be if you're driving along and you're focusing on love and somebody cuts in front of you and you say, wow, maybe they're rushing to the hospital to help somebody out, right? Just giving them the benefit of the doubt, just bringing love to the situation allows you to have a completely different experience of the situation. Now, I want to make one distinction. When I talk about judgment, judgment can be a good thing, right? When we're talking about discernment, right? When we decide, for example, this or that, what choice do I want to make? What's good for me or not so good for me? So there are times you absolutely need judgment, but that's a distinction. I want to draw the distinction between having good judgment and judging. When we operate from a judging energetic, when we operate from the judging everything as it comes across our path, good or bad, right or wrong, it puts us into a lower energetic state. Whereas when we operate from neutrality, observation, or even from love, we can start to find appreciation for things. So there's a big difference between judgment and toxic judging. So I do want to draw that distinction so we don't mix the two up. It is very important in life, and I've talked about it a lot in these videos, to develop discernment so that we can decide and judge if something is a yes for us or a no for us. And even in that, we can bring love to the situation and still say, no, this is not for me, but without the energy of judging. So the thing about the energy of judging is that we're running it through our body, right? Whatever energy we bring to something, hate, anger, blame, shame, when we blame, shame something outside of us, we're the ones running that energy in our body. So it's kind of like the old adage, right? It's like trying to take poison and hoping the other person dies, right? When we're judging, when we're criticizing, when we're blaming. We want to remember that we can come from love and still have boundaries. We can come from love and still say, no, this is not for me. We can come from love and appreciation and still have good discernment and good judgment. Get it? I hope that this exercise was valuable for you. If you want more, if you want to learn about what it looks like to work with me to grow your business in this way, with alignment, with love, with appreciation, you can find out more at superstaractivator.com/go about my programs and offerings. I look forward to connecting with you.